Hello, welcome back to another episode of Math with Haas. You're watching Precalculus Season 2, Episode 1, Part 3. So, we're going to continue talking about programming with the distance formula. So, in the last video, we talked about programming your graphing calculator. And we talked about how we think of each of these four quantities that highlighted, the x2, the x1, the y2, and the y1, as four inputs in order to get the single output, namely the distance between P and Q. Now, this is a very easy equation. We can also implement it directly into Google Sheets. So, let's go ahead and set this up. So here's, how about P, call it, how about x1, y1, and then Q, x2, y1, or y2. And then we'll call this D of between P and Q. Alright, so if we have, for example, I don't know, 1, 3, here's P, here's Q, how about -2, -12, why not? So, plug in our values for P, there's 1, 3, -2, -12. Now the distance from P to Q. So, we need to hit equals. Now we're in the equation editor. And I'm going to type SQRT for square root, or you can just click right here, doesn't matter. So now we have square root. Now I need x2, so right here, x2. Ooh, we gotta, oops. So I got my x2, and we need to put a parenthesis here. So x2 minus, I'm gonna click right here, there's my x1, and parentheses, that quantity has to be squared. Don't forget, you hold shift, then the number 6, get that exponent. Then we need plus parentheses y2 minus y1 and parentheses quantity squared. Now we need to add one more parenthesis for the square root right here. And we hit enter and we get our answer. Hooray. So we get our nice decimal answer. Now, usually, your distance doesn't have a nice value, doesn't come out evenly. That's what we see here with the square root. So if you were wondering, well, what is this supposed to be inside the square root, right? We could, for example, hit, oops, that was another thing. I can hit equals. If I click on this and square it, I can see what the original value before it got square root was. In this case, it was 243. So you can think of it as root 200 and, did I say 240? I meant 234. Awkward. Alright, so we think of this, or you think 15 point, about 15.3. So just kind of, it's going to depend again on what does your instructor want. So I just put this here off to the side so I know what that looked like squared. So this is our distance between P and Q. Oops. So I'm just going to write it like that so I know that's squared. But knowing that this decimal value is actually this thing being without the square root helps you be able to break this down. So if I needed to know what this was, I can think 234, that's 2, and let's see, 117. Alright, so 117, I think that might be a prime number. Let's see. It's not prime. Alright. Oh, okay. So 117. I should check if whether it's divisible by 3. I forget. So check whether it's divisible by 3. I can go 1 plus 1 plus 7. That gives me 9. So I can divide this by 3. If I divide by 3, I get 3, 39, 3, 9, or 13. So I can rewrite this as root 26, 3 times root 26. Alright. So that's one way of figuring out the distance formula. If you've enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing, supporting us on Patreon. Thank you for joining the math party. We have looked at now 2 ways of programming this, one with the graphic calculator and now with Google Sheets. It's a very easy way of doing it, as we saw. Other than that, I will see you next time, and we will continue developing trigonometry.